Hello everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Warframe for Dummies. Today we're talking about companions. Here's what you need to know. So I'm going to do this in parts. Not different part videos, but like I got notes. This time I got notes. So today we're going to start talking about the Sentinels, and then we're going to work our way to weirder and weirder. So here is my first Sentinel. Now, I'm going to say this is not my very first one you ever get, but Sentinels are your companions. I wouldn't call them birds, but they're like flying objects that do certain things. So you got Helios here who could scan stuff, and you could find that in your arsenal. So you got your Warframes right here, and then you got your Sentinels, or you got your companions right here. So you could choose over here, and as your regular Warframe stuff, they also have abilities, and you can swap them out, sometimes with different ones, depending on what it is. We're not going to go too deep into it, but I'm going to make sure you know what you need to know. So, as you can see here, you can equip different ones, upgrade, and change the appearance. This is my Helios Prime. As you can see, he looks absolutely baller. And I'm currently using the Sweeper. Now, whatever is your flavor of the month, go for it. It doesn't really matter exactly which ones you want to use, as long as you use one if you want. They all do different things. And so I'm going to tell you your first Sentinel you're going to get. Okay, so here on Earth, as you can see, when you go to the Venus Junction right there, the Taxon is your very first Sentinel you will get. That being said, it's not a bad Sentinel. For a beginner, it's okay. But once you complete all the things on Earth for the Venus Junction, so all this right here, once you complete it, you'll come down here, or you'll go and defeat the Spectre located right here at the junction. And once you defeat him, you will then get all of this, including the Taxon. Now, for the rest of the Sentinels, you can get most of them at the dojo, and you can get them pretty much scattered to the wind. You can, however, go to the market. Most of the time, they will tell you exactly where you need to go to get the other companions. But to get the rest of them, you do need to go to a dojo. I believe in all of the different labs, they will have at least one. The next thing we will go on to is your Kubrows and Kavats. So this one is going to need a little bit of explaining. So once you're done with Earth, you're going to come down here to Venus. Now, what it used to be was you would come up to here, defeat the Jackal, and then you would then get the quest. That's no longer the case. Because they had junctions, you will now have to defeat the Spectre at the Mercury Junction. Again, you will have to do all the stuff here. And as you can see, the quest of the Howl of the Kubrows, that particular one is what you will need to get done in order to get your first Kubrows. Now I say your first Kubrows because you will be getting a Kubrows first. You won't go right away and get a Kavats. Now there are segments you can get that'll make your doggos, your cats, your whatever live longer and happy lives. You will also have to take care of them, so I do suggest you go to your dojo or a dojo that you can get the segment from, and you will need to get, and it'll be on the screen, this particular segment, and then you will install it, and then you're good, whatever you're going to do. So you will need to get a Kubrows egg. V, where the hell do I get a Kubrows egg? Well, Timmy, I'm glad you asked. So, in order to get a Kubrows egg, you will need to go to here on Earth. It doesn't matter where, except for Cetus and the Plains of Eidolons. Just about everywhere on Earth, you are going to look for this. It's a den of Kubrows, and you're going to have to kill all the Kubrows and the den itself in order to get one Kubrows egg. Now, you're not done, because if you want to get a Kavats, it's the exact same thing, but not with a Kavats. We'll go over that in a second. So once you have your Kubrows egg, you are going to come over to here. this incubator segment right here. And as you can see right here, Kubrow breeding, you're going to go way over to that. So as you can see, you will need these two things in order to breed a Kubrow. You will need one egg, and yes, you can have more than one, but you can't hatch more than one at a time. So I have 7 currently, but there's one. You will also need a power core. And the one thing about the power core is you're going to need to get the argon crystal. So you won't right away be able to get your Kubrow unless they added in the Howl the Kubrow, you just get an argon crystal for this particular. I have no idea, but don't worry. Argon crystals are only located in one spot. So this is the void. This is where you're going to go for anything and everything argon crystal related. So as you can see, there are only 3 ways of getting into the void. There is the access through Neptune, there is the access through Europa, the access through Phobos, and the access through Sedna. Now, a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll get all the way to Sedna and then go all the way to Mott, which is a survival, and there's a special someone waiting in there for you. You can't find him, he'll randomly show up. It's not the stalker, by the way. But if you're going to go there in a quick, you would probably want to go through here. So you go through Phobos, and your mission types are an exterminate, a capture, and a defense. So I would say no to your defense mission, maybe a capture or an exterminate. Now, if you want to wait, that's fine. Again, you also have the Europa one, which you'll come soon, and you got mobile defense, you have a sabotage, and you do also have a survival. Now, I would suggest if you do come through here, the sabotage and the survival are pretty okay. They're not hard to do. The sabotage, you are going to have to take on 2 mini-bosses, but by the time you get to there, they're not hard. They move around a lot, but with a group of people, you should be able to go right through them. That being said, you can also go through the Neptune, and the Neptune one has 1 capture, 1 exterminate, and 1 defense. Again, no to defense because they will not have an argon crystal. You might get lucky, but it's not going to happen. But if you do end up waiting till Sedna, or you're watching this going, you know what, I see everyone having a companion, I want one, and you already got Sedna unlocked, so you'll have your mission types: a mobile defense, a sabotage, a intercept, and 1 survival. And this is where a certain someone will show up. And the Void Raider thing, don't worry about this. So that's where you'll get an argon crystal. You will only be able to, and let me make sure I put this, not a spoiler, but a warning. You will only be able to keep your argon crystal for 1 week. After that, it disappears. It is a disappearing thing. Do not, I repeat, do not farm for more than you need. If you do, you're wasting your time. Now, if you want to feed it to your helmet, by all means, go for it. I ain't gonna complain about it. So while we're here, I also want to talk about the Kavats. So where do you farm them? You will come to Deimos. You will not go to the Necrolist or the Cambion Drift. These 2, no. But you will go to all these other ones. And what you are looking for are invisible cats. What you'll need to do is you'll need to use your codex scanner, and you'll need to scan not 1, but 10 of them. And you'll get 10 genetic codes. I will show you because we'll go back to the incubator. So as you can see right here, as the Kubrow breeding, you'll need an egg, and you'll need that. You can also go over to here, and you'll have the Kavats genetic codes and one incubator code. So you don't need to have an egg for the Kavats genetic codes, which is actually not bad. So now I'm going to go on to our next one, and that's the Robo Pets. Yes, you heard me correctly. Now, I know you're going to ask, V, what in God's world is a Robo Pet? Well, there's 2 types. So you have the Moas, which I'm assuming by now you've at least seen one of these guys. Not exactly this, but you've at least seen a Moa before. So it is it has big legs, a center mass, and some form of a turret on top. There are different ones. They all do different things. They're pretty much a pet without being a pet. But you can also give them different guns. As you can see, there are plenty. They also have ones that you can get for sale. The other type you can get are called Hounds. Hounds are basically a robo dog. They're a Kubrow, but a robo. They have their own set of weapons as well, as you can see right here. I don't know what really the difference between all of them are. I have yet to go through all of them, but there are differences. I'm assuming it's just different. Yeah, it looks like it's just different types. So if you want slash, puncture, impact, what have you. Ooh, actually I should be going with slash. Why am I not going with slash? You learn something every day. But how to get this guy and more. So to get these guys, you will have to find the Sisters of Parvos. I will make a video for both the Grenier and the Sisters of Parvos Lich missions. I will do that after TennoCon 2023, because some people are saying that there's going to be an Infested Lich missions. In which case, I will wait until I make that video to make the whole video. But basically, you'll need to do the quest for the Sisters of Parvos, beat it, and then you'll be able to go and do the mission. Real quick, I will show you exactly where you need to go. Okay, so you will be looking for this particular mission. Now, I want to say this particular, not exactly this one, but anything that has this right here. You are looking for the golden hand. This will show you, this is what you'll need to go to. Now, you'll also need one of 3 coins. And once you get one of the 3 coins, you'll have to kill everything around the hand, and then you'll be able to deposit one of the tokens, and then you'll go in, you'll do the mission. Basically, that's what you do. And after you defeat the sister, you will then get a blueprint, or you'll just get a dog or a hound from the sister, and that's just a random one. So you can actually make your own. They do drop blueprints. Now, where to get all of this and more for your Robo Moas and your Robo Doggos, you will need to go to here in Fortuna. Once here, you will need to go to Legs. Once you talk to him, he has all your stuff for Moas and Hounds. Now, you can actually go in and pre-make your Moa. I'll show you. So you can select a head. You can select, I don't know, body. You can select a core. And you can select a set of legs. Now, they all do different things. But as you see, I just made a quick Moa. Look at that. Looks pretty cool. And there's a little thing down here that says Gilded. You will have to level this thing up definitely more than once. And once you level him up, he'll actually have some decent stats. And you can go from there. But this is for the Moas. Now, if you want to do the Hounds, it's the exact same thing. But you'll need to come on over to here. And you can just go from there. Honestly, I'm not going to go over that entire thing. But if you go down to here and browse wares, this whole section right here is only for the Moas. I'm just going to let you know right now, all of this, Moas. If you want anything that is the Hound companion stuff, you will need to farm the Sisters of Parvos. All right, now we get to go to the weird stuff. And so now that we're back on our ship, we are going to go over the last bit of information you need to know. This is all the Infested and Mutated Kubrows, Kavats, Volpophiles, and Predicites. All that and much more. So this right here is a Helmuth Charger. how do you acquire said ugly looking thing?
Emotional damage.
Oh, he's awesome. Look at that guy. He's so adorable. So how to get him is you will need to go the exact way you get a Kubrow, but you will make sure that your Warframe, and you could only get this once, right there on the neck, you will have a cyst growing out of you. And the only way you can remove it is by going to all the way to the back and the helmet chair on the left. So going back, take a left. When you make your helmet charger, it's the exact same thing for a Kubrow, but you can also, when you're in the incubation portion of it, and you have a Warframe that has a cyst right here on the neck, you can go over to here, go way over to the Kubrow thing, and it will actually give you something you want. So it'll give you the actual prompt for it, and you'll put the cyst in it, and that's how you get that. Now, I will then go and tell you about the vampire kitty, because I have one. Hi, V here. In order for you to actually get the vampire kitty, you will have to take a regular Kavat out onto the plains of Eidolon at night. You will have to find the other vampire kitties, and then you will have to have your cat get bit by the Kavat itself. Now, once that is done, you will see a red, it'll be covered in a red aura. And then you will bring it back, and then you will take the genetic template from it, and then that you will be able to make another Kavat, and that will be your vampire kitty. Now, with that out of the way, we can go to the very, very, very last part of this, and I will show you. So back here on Demos, you will need to go to the Cambion Drift, and you will need to find the Vulpophiles and the Predacites you want to get. You will not kill them, but you will try to weaken them, and then you'll have to capture them via either sleeping them, tranquilizing them. You can get the trank gun in Fortuna near the guy that's, or whoever is next to Legs. He has the thing for it. So I will show you exactly where you can get all that stuff. Okay, so once you get into the Necrolist, you will want to fast travel to Sun. This guy is everything you will need for your Predacite and your Vulpophile. Or Vulpophile. So it's the Revivification. So I will even show you right here. You find whichever one that is incapacitated that you're going to use. So I don't have the Panzer one. Everyone loves the Panzer one. But there's the other ones over here as well. So we'll use the one that I find most common. You will also need to get a mutagen. And you will also need to get an antigen. Depending on what you got particular, it also depends on the look of the actual animal. But as you can see, this is where you can get that. And yes, you can also... Oh, you can't. You cannot guild these things. And so that's where you go for all that stuff. I do hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please down in the comment section. You're more than welcome to post your comments. This is a community game. If you have a question, comment below. Either I or someone else will help you. Also, if you do know from one of my previous videos, you can go over to the simple. You can go over to the trade. You can go over to the help tab on your chat, and someone will help you. There is a lot of community. This is a game that has a lot of helpful community. Also, the internet is available if you really can't find your stuff. But anyways, if you did find this helpful, please leave a like. And if you want to share it to someone, you know what, please. That helps this whole channel. Recently, we got to 63 subscribers. Dudes, I never thought I'd get more than 2. Both parents subscribing. Love you, Dad. And again, I also live stream on Saturdays, and then sometimes during holidays. We'll see. It really depends on which one. I also need to make sure I am with my family doing family things. Anyways, before I start rambling, y'all take care, stay cool. Goodbye.